On Global Mantra Outlook 2013 this week, Jonathan Bell, head emerging market equities at Nomura Asset Management, talks about his outlook on the markets in 2013. Let's listen in.
I had the announcement that Diageo will take a 53% stake in United Spirits, which I think is important in showing how Indian companies are very well managed, and also in some cases.
Does that excite you?
Well, it's exciting in the fact that they're willing to pay looks like quite a hefty premium, so that it was quite undervalued. And if you take a step back on Indian companies and look at the big picture, whether it's the auto sector, whether it's the consumer sector, and look at for example where United Spirits market cap relative to the opportunity and relative to their market share. And that's probably what Diageo was doing. They're willing to take a long-term view on India and take a view on this great potential. And I think that helps to improve sentiment. Again, it's one event, but it kind of frames a larger picture.
But as a fund manager, did it make you think about evaluating an investment opportunity in United Spirits?
I think from our perspective, we may have missed the boat on that particular stock, but certainly I think there's a lot of opportunity, particularly in the mid-cap space in India and in those more consumer or domestic demand-oriented sectors.
What pockets do you like? What sectors do you like in India? What specific names are you looking at?
Certainly, we've liked the staples sector historically. It looks a bit stretched in terms of valuations. Discretionary is one area I'd look at. The auto sector, if you follow the trajectory of China's growth, China now has an automobile sector. I think they did 14.5 million units last year, which is about, should be, well, about 6 times that of India's automobile sector. We're at very early stages, but the likely path is an S shape in terms of growth. And whether it's two-wheelers, which should be actually, is already at the real takeoff stage, or four-wheelers, I think there's a lot of opportunity. And some well-managed companies that have had some difficult times in the past year. But certainly there's opportunity for margin improvement. And for decent, kind of longer-term structural growth.
You think corporate earnings have bottomed out in India?
Again, in certain pockets, and looking through the latest financial results, they appear to have. I think it just very much depends. I think you'll see, probably pretty big disparities still going forward between, say, the private sector banks and the public sector banks. But it really depends. But the latest earnings releases, and again, we're fairly long-term in our investment outlook, but they look decent.
And you can catch that entire conversation at 6:30 p.m. and 11 p.m. today exclusively on ET Now.